Welcome to my LGBT lesbian channel. The series Checkmate, Stripper and Dance for Me are voiced for you in full history. Thank you for your comments, reactions and subscription to my channel. Have a nice day everyone. Camila Cabello's point of view. With delicateness I slid the piece of cotton on my face, removing all and any trace of makeup that I had used that night. Christopher, on his turn, was under a hot shower, making the steam fog up the mirror in front of me. I huffed angrily, but continued with my work. I felt a chill run through my entire body when a puff of cold air came into contact with me. I was wearing only a silky white shirt, which reached my thighs. "Why didn't you tell me?" I asked as I wiped around my eyes. I heard the noise of the shower stop, and through the mirror I could see my husband slide his hands through his hair, removing the excess water. "What?" His raspy voice tone echoed through the shower box's walls. "About the theft, Christopher." He was silent for a few instants, until he opened the shower box's door. "I didn't want to worry you. Can you hand me a towel?" I grabbed one of the towels that were on the counter, handing it to him. "I am your wife, you have to share things with me." The man grabbed the towel, which he slid on his body. Christopher was the owner of an enviable body to any men. His defined muscles, accompanied by his right height, with his challenging blue eyes, all this characterized him as an extremely handsome and attractive man. I got lucky, right? "I know, Camilla, I just didn't see the need," he said when he wrapped the towel around his waist, covering all his nudity. "I just worry." He smiled and approached, uniting his body to mine from behind. The fresh aroma of the soap quickly spread. Christopher planted a kiss on my neck, making me shrug my shoulders when I felt a shiver run down my spine. "I know you do. It would be weird if you didn't care about your patrimony. After all that is mine, is also yours." "Exactly. I want everything in order as always." The man wrapped my waist with his arms, while he rested his chin on my shoulder. I could feel the drops of water moisten my face, as I stared at us through the mirror. For many my marriage to Christopher was perfect, worthy of soap opera, but like every other, we also had our moments of crisis. "Let's go to sleep?" I asked. He smiled and deposited a kiss on my cheek, to then turn my body facing his. I felt my body come into contact with the cold marble of the counter as soon as he held my waist. "We can do something better," he said, looking into my eyes. Christopher's eyes were in a darker blue, overflowing lust. I closed my eyes as soon as I felt the man's soft lips on my skin. His hands closed on my waist in a strong grip. "Or we can leave this for later," I whispered. "No, love, come on. Now it's perfect," he insisted before taking my mouth in a kiss. His lips moved initially slow on my own, in a light caress. I accompanied his movements, until feeling the tip of his tongue contouring my lips, I slightly opened my mouth, letting myself feel Christopher's tongue invade it with mastery. "Chris," I whispered between his lips. "Shush, let's go to the bedroom." He guided me slowly to our bedroom, without letting our bodies disconnect. I backed up a few steps until feeling my legs hit against the soft bed. The man smiled between my lips, to then bring his hand to my shirt, which he took off slowly. "Just enjoy." We were now sitting together at the table eating breakfast. Christopher, whenever he could, he ate breakfast with me, since for most of the day we didn't see each other. For a long time I kept up to date with all matters of Colin's enterprise, since it was also my patrimony. But after some conflicts in our marriage, I decided to back away. "Excuse me, sir," the employee approached politely. "Yes, Thiago?" Christopher spoke without looking at the young man. "Phone call for you, sir. Mr. John is on the line." Christopher looked at the butler, and then grabbed the cell phone from his hand. "I'll be back in an instant, love," he said, staring at me. "Okay, honey." My husband got up from the table, straightening his suit before walking to the balcony. I could hear his irritated voice from outside the house. I imagined to be some problem in one of the branch offices, until minutes later he came back, and with a not-so-good expression, somewhat angry I could say. "What happened?" "John is sick, he won't be able to go to the company today," he said as he sat at the table again. "And what's wrong with that?" "Agent Yaregui is going to Collins Enterprise today to initiate the investigation. And we know very well that she can't have free access to all the information of the company." His voice tone indicated how angry he was. "I know that very well. I found somewhat strange you calling someone to investigate." "Camilla, I'm being robbed. I can't let it go unpunished." Christopher closed his hands into fists, his gaze overflowed fury. Collins was a powerful man, and totally egocentric. Having a part of his fortune being stolen was like taking away a part of him. As if he didn't have enough control in his hands to prevent such damage. "I know that, I just think it's dangerous to have a police officer investigating all." "Lauren doesn't seem that smart. She's more lost than a blind man in a shooting. I just want her to solve my problem. I want to find out who robbed me, and then I'll dismiss her. I found her competent enough." The man frowned at me, as he brought the cup of fine china up to his lips. "We'll see in the course of the case. So far she hasn't shown me anything." I smiled at him, shrugging. "If you want I can go, this way I can keep an eye on what she can or cannot investigate." Christopher looked thoughtful. He stayed for a few seconds in silence, probably analyzing my proposal. "I don't know if I want you involved in this." I got up from my chair slowly, walking behind his chair. I brought my hands to his shoulders, where I squeezed in a relaxing massage. The man had his muscles tensed, which soon relaxed with my touches. "You rather have her seeing everything? We know very well that besides John, only I know what she can or cannot investigate there," I said calmly and persuasively. "I know, I'm going. I need to take really good care of our company." "You're right, I need you glued to Agent Yaregui," he said seriously. "Leave it to me, honey. I'll do it with pleasure." I let out with a smile at my husband. The man smiled, and I slowly sealed my lips to his. "I'll see you there then." Christopher stood up. "Do a good job, love." I walked away from him, and walked towards the huge staircase of our house. "I always do, Christopher." I felt his eyes on me, analyzing every detail of my body. I just smiled and continued my way towards my bedroom. I needed to be simply impeccable for Agent Yaregui. Lauren Yaregui's point of view. "These balance sheets are too vague." Allison grumbled from the backseat of my car. The smaller one analyzed the documents cautiously as I drove to Collins Enterprise. Today we would initiate the investigations in the case, and none other than Allison Brooke to give a good overhaul of Christopher's company's system. We would look for any type of suspicious transaction to begin with. "Yes, I believe we have to ask for authorization for you to get into their system." "I can do that easily, Lauren." "Yes, I believe that." Where is Vero? She's finishing receiving Agent Piñero's training. I heard that she will leave this week. Allison nodded quickly. She will. She was transferred to another unit. But I don't know if it's really police training that Vero is receiving from her. I let out an amused laugh, looking at the smaller one through the rearview mirror. You know what I mean, Lauren. I know, but I won't get into that. Much less Mel, the shorter one said, laughing. We arrived, I said as soon as I entered Collins Enterprises parking lot. I still hadn't gotten used to the grandiosity of that place. I stopped the black Volvo in one of the first vacant lots, near the entrance of the building. This guy likes to squander, Allie said as she got out of the car and stared at the luxurious building. You haven't seen anything, Allison. I straightened my jacket after putting my gun in the holster between my arm and my torso. I grabbed the paperwork from the car dashboard and my aviator glasses. I don't like not wearing the police uniform, Allie said, somewhat bothered. Christopher doesn't want anyone in here to realize that the company is undergoing a police investigation. According to him, it would scare away the possible thief, I said, rolling my eyes. Allison laughed and shook her head. I smiled and put on my glasses before entering. Good morning, can I help you? I'm Agent Yaregui, and this is Agent Brooke. Oh, yes, I have information about you. Wait a moment, one of our employees will take you. I nodded, seeing the beautiful young woman walking away. This here is pretty futuristic, Allie said as she analyzed the interior. That was what I thought when I first came here. It didn't take long, and a red-haired young man of medium stature approached. He was wearing a light gray suit, somewhat too big for his size. He adjusted clumsily the small glasses that rested on his face. You must be from the police, right? He asked politely. Oh. If you like that I voiced the continuation of the series Stripper and want me to continue, please like and write a comment on the video. This will be an incentive to continue working on translation and dubbing.